Zach Morgan wasn't exactly known for being serious, especially not when it came to romance. This was the same guy who once gave his girlfriend a bouquet of hot wings instead of roses. Emily had loved it. That was just who they were. So when Zach stood up during the seventh inning stretch at the ballgame, holding something behind his back and grinning like a fool, his friends knew something was coming. Something ridiculous, no doubt. He turned to one of them, the guy already filming on his phone, and said with a smirk, "It's not really a proposal, just a gummy ring. She'll laugh. She better laugh." And Zach wasn't wrong. Emily would laugh, just not for the reason he expected. Emily sat in the stands with her best friend, sipping soda and half watching the game. The crowd roared as the home team made a play, but her attention shifted when she spotted Zach climbing the steps toward her. He had been sitting lower down with some of his friends. She noticed they had all turned to watch the spectacle. "Uh-oh," she said to her friend. "Zach's got that I'm gonna do something crazy look on his face." Her friend giggled, snorting soda through her nose. Everyone who knew them understood Zach was irrepressible. Clown was one of the tamer epithets he got. Clown though he was, Zach was one of the most caring men she'd ever known. When he grinned at her, as he was doing now, Emily had no way of refusing him. He shamelessly used it to his advantage, as often as he could. Then in the middle of the noise and flashing stadium lights, he dropped to one knee. People around them erupted with cheers, some already lifting their phones to capture the moment. A proposal during a ball game? They lived for this stuff. "Emily Grace Carter," Zach said, beaming. "Will you bear with me forever?" He held up a cherry red gummy bear, fastened to a twist tie like a ring. Laughter broke out in the nearby rows. Emily blinked, stunned. Then her eyes narrowed. Zach gulped dramatically. "Seriously?" she said deadpan. Zach chuckled. He was more than a little uneasy. "Come on, it's funny." She stared at him, then slowly shook her head and reached into her purse. "You are such a dork," she muttered. "I can't believe this." But instead of storming off or dumping her soda on him, she pulled out a small velvet box. Zach's grin faltered. "What's that?" he asked, eyebrows raised. Emily opened the box to reveal a delicate gold band crowned with a sparkling diamond. The crowd gasped in unison, phones refocused. A man behind them actually dropped his nachos. "Since you can't be serious, I went and bought my own ring." Her voice trembled slightly as she asked, "Zach Morgan, will you marry me?" Zach stared at her, speechless. For once in his life, he had no words. He looked down at the gummy ring still clutched in his hand, then back at the real one glittering in hers. "I was just joking," he murmured. "Were you joking about me? About us?" "Never," Zach said without hesitating. "Neither am I," Emily whispered. A beat of silence passed. Then a random fan shouted, "Say yes, dude!" Laughter swept through the section. Emily held her breath. Zach finally grinned. "Only if I still get to keep the gummy ring." She smiled, radiant. "Deal." He took the diamond ring from the box, held it for a moment, then gently slid it onto her finger. She leaned forward, and he kissed her. The crowd erupted into cheers. Even the team mascot danced behind them, arms flailing with enthusiasm. Up on the jumbotron, the message blazed, "She proposed. He said yes." Later, as the game led out and the crowd thinned, they found a quiet spot outside the stadium. The adrenaline had ebbed, but a warm, electric buzz lingered between them. "You really brought the ring with you?" Zach asked, still looking slightly dazed. Emily shrugged. "I figured if you didn't do it tonight, I would. Guess I beat you to it." He laughed. "So what do we do with the ring I bought?" "You bought a ring too?" Emily gasped. "Yup, I figured I'd give you the gummy bear tonight and save the real ring for dinner next week." "No way." "Way." Emily made a great show of considering it. "I have no objection to having two rings. One isn't nearly enough for my Emily." They sat in comfortable silence for a moment, the sounds of traffic and distant stadium lights humming in the background. "So," Zach said at last, "what do we tell people? Who proposed?" Emily leaned her head against his shoulder. "Both of us. We're overachievers." "We could frame the gummy bear," Zach offered playfully. "Start a trend." He pulled out his phone and held it out for a selfie. In the photo, Emily's new diamond ring gleamed on her hand, while Zach proudly wore the gummy ring on his pinky. He typed the caption with a smirk. When your proposal prank backfires in the best way. Hashtag, she said yes. Hashtag, so did he. Hashtag, double proposal. Not every love story was candlelight dinners and sweeping orchestras. Some were ball games, gummy rings, and moments that flipped the script in the best way possible. But where there was laughter, love, and two hearts perfectly in sync, that was the perfect proposal, no matter who asked first. Original, heartwarming fiction every week. Subscribe for your next great story.